Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Stacy Shillington and I'm here today to talk about emotional repression and acne. And this is a terrifying topic for me to talk about because it is so very personal, but I'm going to jump right in there and preface everything by saying that this is real science. There is a proven connection between our minds and our emotions and our skin. And in fact, there is a whole field of research called psychoneurodermatology that is specifically devoted to just studying the relationship between our minds and emotions and our skin. So, sometimes we think that our emotions may or may not contribute to our acne. We might kind of blow it off and think that it's the causes of acne are more substantial, like the diet or the supplements. But this is real. Emotions, managing emotions properly is a real solution to acne. And so that is what I want to talk about today. And managing emotions is definitely not one of my it's not it is not my strength. I am working on it. I'm going to share my story a little bit with you, but whenever I talk about emotions, I get a little bit panicky inside. Like, even this presentation makes me panicky, even though it is scientifically based. Whenever the word emotion comes up, I just want to run and hide my head. So believe it or not, this is really difficult for me to do. I hope it's not a complete disaster. Okay. Let's get started here. So I want to start by talking about the law of conservation of matter and energy. And the law basically states that matter and energy cannot be created or destroyed. They can only change forms. Emotions are a form of energy. And if we have emotions within our body and we do not express emotions in a healthy manner, those emotions stay in our body. But they don't want to stay in our body. Those emotions want to get out somehow. And for many people, skin is the outlet for releasing this energy, for releasing these emotions. For some people, they may get lower back pains. They may get hair loss. They may get joint pains. It manifests differently for everybody. But for most of us watching today, our skin is the area of our body that releases tension. And emotions are an energy that must be released. Emotions cannot just sit stagnant in the body and be forgotten about. And that is really unfortunate because for me personally, throughout my life, there are a lot of emotions that I have kept repressed and I had hoped would just go away so I wouldn't have to deal with them. But I am very sad to say that that is not my reality, and I do have to deal with everything just like we all do. And my skin has many times told the tale of my emotional states. So addressing our emotional patterns is not easy. I have made lots of videos on how to clear your skin. Most of my videos have been like, well, you can apply this to your skin or eat this or, do this or do that. And those are really simple solutions, really, when it comes down to it. But the root cause, and this is what naturopathic medicine is all about. This is our life journey. Our journey is to learn how to live in this world, and regulating our emotions is part of that. So it's a lot easier to take a supplement than to regulate and healthily express your emotions. I'm going to give you some scientifically proven ways to help express your emotions. But first, I'm going to tell you my story. And I don't know if any of you will be able to relate to this at all, but when I was growing up, there was one emotion allowed in my house, and that was the emotion of happiness. if I was sad or angry or fearful or anything other than happy, I was quickly forced to either assume happiness or be shamed. And that is, I think, the truth of many people growing up. That was certainly the truth for my parents growing up, which is why they kind of taught that coping mechanism to me. And so I quickly learned in my life that any emotion other than happiness was not to be expressed. It was not okay. And I had better just hide those emotions away if I wanted to be loved. That was the message. As irrational as it sounds, that is how I grew up thinking. And I stopped emoting. I stopped feeling. I pushed everything down to the point where I developed a condition, and this condition has been studied quite a bit actually. And when I first learned about it, I was like, oh my God. It's called alexithymia. Alexithymia. Alexithymia is when you have difficulty recognizing and expressing emotions. And studies have shown, well, there's been conflicting studies. Some studies have shown that acne patients do not necessarily have alexithymia, but some studies, and in fact, there's one study in particular that was published in May 2015, so fairly recently, in the Journal of American Dermatology. I have it written down, the journal. Oh yeah, the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology. It was published and it showed that yes, there is a link between alexithymia and acne, which means, this doesn't mean if you have acne, you definitely have alexithymia, but if you have alexithymia, you definitely have a higher risk of developing acne. And that is my case. And I grew up, and eventually I really didn't know how I felt. If somebody said, well, how are you feeling? I would be like, I feel okay. Are you angry? I'd be like, I don't think so. I wasn't sad. I just couldn't feel my emotions. And it didn't help that I went on to marry 2 alcoholics and I became a codependent in those relationships, which means that, I basically relied on those men for validation. I could not find happiness or contentment within myself. Those relationships basically shaped me. I was a codependent. So I acted the way they wanted me to act, and they wanted me to be cute and blonde and happy and perky. And so that's what I did for 20 years. And again, if I had emotions that those men didn't want to know about, following what I learned when I was little, I just stuffed it all inside and closed the door, and I felt miserable. I felt so awful. I tried to be happy. I tried to be that really sweet, happy, perfect girl for everybody, but inside I was fucking dying. I can't even tell you. My skin was on fire. As you know, I didn't sleep for 10 years. For 10 years, I did not sleep because I kept all this emotion and all this energy trapped inside of me and was trying to come out on my skin, but there was just too much of it there. And eventually, at the age of 40, which is really, really young, I suffered a heart attack. That's how strong emotional repression can be. Mine was extreme, but we still have to learn how to express our emotions and at least take a look at that as an underlying cause for acne. So what did I do? So I'm still on the journey to help unrepress my emotions. It's long, it's difficult, but it's essential. And I'm learning all the time how to do this more and more, and I want to share with you what I'm doing to help release my emotions, because if I can do it, anybody can do it, and most of you out there can probably do it a lot better than me, and maybe even give me some help if you could. So I spent a year a year, a full year. I was fully dedicated in ACA, which is Adult Children of Alcoholics. And my parents were not alcoholics, but they did come from alcoholic families, so those patterns were definitely passed along. But spending a year in that group program was amazing. And you don't have to come from an alcoholic family to go to the program. Basically, they say 97% of all people can benefit from deeply exploring your childhood. And what happened? What caused you to get to the place where you're at? And it was a really enlightening year. I loved it. I learned a ton. And I also did a lot of individual therapy, just on what the underlying causes of my condition were, why I could not express my emotions, why I was such a very bad codependent, and how to climb out of the hole that I was in. So group therapy, individual therapy, those pretty much saved my life. And then I also did a lot of meditation. Meditation, I did the MBSR program, which is the mindfulness-based stress reduction program. And that was helpful because it allowed me to still my mind and to give myself space to feel, because that is what I could not do. So it's very uncomfortable, and often I did not want to give myself space when I was repressing my emotions because it felt too uncomfortable. Instead, I would distract myself. And I distracted myself by, drinking was really a popular pastime, especially because my husband liked to do that so much too. Shopping was also a really nice way to distract me. And basically anything, just keeping myself busy all the time and not letting myself get quiet and just be. And the meditation really allowed me to just be quiet. And I'm not a great meditator, but I am a dedicated meditator. I do it every day for 30 minutes, sometimes twice a day. And I'm not going to say that I ever get full quietude and serenity of my mind, because I don't, because that's my journey. But what I do get is I get the ability to feel, and that is really quite epic for me. So meditation is really important. Another thing that science has shown is helpful when you need to learn how to express your emotions is journaling. Journaling once a day, and journaling beyond just what happened to you today. And it's not easy at first, but bit by bit, starting to write a little bit more about how you feel gives you great insight into how you're feeling and allows you to recognize and start to express your emotions. So journaling is good. Expressive arts, this is one I discovered about a year ago, and I'm so excited to tell you about this because I love it. So research has shown expressive arts such as drama, music, dance, they're all very helpful in cultivating emotional expression. I discovered something called ecstatic dance about a year ago, and this is basically, it's like a room, a big old ballroom in downtown Toronto we meet in. There's a different DJ every week. You dance barefoot. There's no talking allowed. It's kind of dark. It's a sober space. And you just dance for 2 hours. And it is so cathartic. And it is an excellent way to move the energy in your body and to release energy in your body that can become pent up and that can try to get out through your skin in the form of acne. But I've found that ecstatic dance is an amazingly brilliant therapy to help release the emotional energy that has become stagnated in the body. Hypnosis and relaxation training, that is along the same lines as meditation. And this was a surprising one for me, but reading novels. Because reading novels is a great way to learn expressive language and also how to develop your own narrative and how to tell your own story. So I don't do that a lot, but that sounds like a really fun thing to do, a fun therapy. So those are some ways that science has shown that you can help to express your emotions, help to release the energy from within and get it out in a very helpful manner so that you are not aggravating your skin with your, with your emotional energy. So if you have a chance, if you're watching this, I don't know how popular this Facebook Live is going to be because, this is not an easy subject to talk about. It's deep and it's difficult, and emotions, especially if you're repressing them for a reason. And that reason is probably because they're painful. And who wants to deal with pain? We're all about avoiding pain. I'm all about helping you with your acne so you don't have to feel the pain that acne brings to you, the emotional pain. But in order to heal that pain, sometimes you have to go right in and face your emotions. Look your emotions in the eye and deal with them. Feel them. You have to feel the pain to get through it. And that's the irony. In order to move past the pain, you have to be in the pain. And there really are no shortcuts. It's the journey, and you are on a clear skin journey. And that is exactly what it is. You can remove all the right things from your diet. You can take all the right supplements, and that will help. But getting to the deep, dark root of the problem is the most liberating way to treat your acne. That is the way that you will find true freedom and true happiness, because clear skin does make you feel a lot better about yourself and about your life. But true happiness is found in inner liberation. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. I hope that I covered everything. God, I made a lot of notes on this Facebook Live because this is a really important one, and I know I'm not so eloquent in the delivery, and I want to get better at it because I really want to help you on the emotional part of the journey too. But I guess in order to do that, I have to progress a little bit further myself. Anyways, so that's all for today. I'm going to sign off, but remember to follow me on Facebook and Instagram because I give great skincare tips every day. I'm serious. And also check out my 7-week Clear Skin program because I will teach you what you need to do in terms of diet and supplement and stress management and balancing your hormones and healing your gut in order to get clear skin. So I can really help you there. Check it out. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.